burp suite tool. And in the burp suite, let's say I go to this website. If you see the response via the server for when I visited this website, help.website os, something like that. When I visited that, if I go and look at the response header that was received via the website server, it says 200. Okay, and thing is that this is where you will actually get the codes. Like it can be 100, 200, or 400. So let us kind of quickly see what those codes actually mean and what we can kind of figure out from there. Okay, so the first thing I want to share is that there are different kind of codes, and it is something like the format is like 1xx. Okay, then it can be 2xx, then 3 comma 4, and then it will be like 5. So these are the common response code that we need to kind of know about, like 3xx, 2xx, and 4xx. And 2xx, which actually means like the xx value can change. So one of the thing can be like 200. Okay, similarly in 3xx, one of the value can be 302. Okay, which has a specific meaning. Similarly in 4xx, there is something like 404, which has another specific meaning. And similarly in 5xx, there can be codes like 501, 503. Okay, so each of this code has different meaning. Okay, and now we will kind of quickly see few of the meaning of like of those codes. Okay, so the first one is definitely like, let's say at a high level, we won't get kind of much deeper. So one of the thing is like, let's say the code is like 100. So 100 code actually means continue. Okay, and basically for us as a cyber security professional, I have not kind of basically personally encountered a incident where I was worried about this 1xx. I was basically worried about 2xx, 3xx, 4xx, and 5xx. Okay, this course. The 1xx is normally like one of the things is like 100, which actually means like continue. Continue with what it means is that the client can continue with a request and it has not been kind of rejected by the server. So this is one of the HTTP response code kind of that is sometimes returned by the server. And for us, like it is not that necessary. The one of the thing that is necessary for us is, let's say the one of the most important stuff is the 200. Okay, so 200 actually means that it was a successful request. So like over here, when we see the burp suite tool, when I visited this website, I actually got the content of that website, and my request was successfully processed by the server. Okay, in that case, the thing is that what will happen is the code over here will be 200. Okay, which means successful. Okay, so now let's say how it can be helpful during an incident. So one of the thing is that how it can be helpful is that, let's say just quickly write that down. So let's say you are dealing with an incident where let's say hundreds, thousands of employees actually received a phishing email. Okay, thousands of employees actually received a phishing email, and that phishing email was having a malicious domain, for an example. And let's say 500 of those employees actually visited that malicious domain. Okay, and I want to figure out in this 500 even, like, okay, what are the potential, let's say what are the potential employees who had actually downloaded certain binary file, or let's say certain malicious malware file from that malicious domain. So what I can do is that if I go to this Wireshark, and one of the things is that I was showcasing you guys this HTTP, and let's say if I go to this one over here, the EZT. Okay, and let me just quickly follow this stream, TCP HTTP stream. Now here we see that that let's say we have 500 guys who had actually visited that malicious domain, and I want to figure out who all users have actually downloaded the malicious binary that is served by that website. So what I can do is that I can look at the HTTP response code, and let's say I see that, okay, there is 200 request code that is over here in the HTTP response code. Okay. So, and let's say in this 500, only 100 employees actually were linked to the HTTP response code of 200. So I know that only 100 out of those 1000 employees actually had most probably the malicious file in their system. Okay. And for the example, easy example to see that is by the same lab. So if you see that the request code was 200, and we see that, okay, there's a malicious binary, the malicious flash file over here. Okay. So this is one of the way by which we can kind of figure out, okay, what are the potential employees who might have successfully downloaded that binary file. So maybe in this case, let's say the other guys might have visited the website, but let's say they were not able to, the website didn't got open for them. The reason for that can be, let's say this 500 employees were having a mix of, let's say, Mac or Windows laptops. Okay, Mac or Windows laptop. And what the malware author was checking is that they were only targeting the Windows guys, for an example, and how they were figuring out that via the user agent, for an example, via the user agent. So when the web server saw that, okay, the user agent is not Mac, is Mac, it didn't provide them that, it didn't provide them any kind of data. Okay. But when the server found it, okay, the window operating, it is a window operating system via the user agent, then they provided them the response code of 200 and provided them the malicious binary file. So this is the reason why knowing the HTTP response code is very, 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 very necessary. And how you can do that is by looking at those kind of packets. Okay. And this is one of the major, yeah, go on.
So when doing this type of investigation, so do we manually need to check the response code of each and every user? So is there some way we can automate that process?
So you mean like automate the analysis of the logs over here? Do you mean that?
The response code to response. For example,
okay,
we are doing the investigation.
Yeah, go on.
When we are doing investigation and we are seeing which users have got the response as 200, so do we manually need to do it, or we can automate the process as well? Because if there are 100 users, so we manually have to check, right? So is there a way we can like automate that process of seeing the response code, which users got the response code as 200?
Okay, so one of the things definitely I mean to say is that this logs the HTTP response code. For an example, the HTTP response code will definitely be recorded. If it is recorded, will be definitely recorded in the, let's say, in the proxy log. Okay, and let's say you are using one of the SIEM tool, like let's say using Splunk for an example, and Splunk all the data, all the proxy logs, where you can access all those proxy logs, let's say via Splunk. Okay, so in that you can just do a query. So let's say you can just do a query like let's say something like this. You see that, okay, it is HTTP1. So you can, in the SIEM tool, you can just write something like give me all the things, HTTP response code like this, and you provide the URL. Like URL can be abc.com, for example. So what does Splunk will do? And the query will look something like this. Let's say for the Splunk part, it will be something like index equal to, let's say, star, source type equal to proxy log, for an example. And then you search for this thing, like the URL, and where you are seeing the header as something like this. So it will automatically show you all the list of entries where the user has visited abc.com and the response code was 200. And from there, you can quickly get the IP address of those users. So this is one of the best way to kind of figure out, do an auto analysis. Like it is kind of searching. Maybe if you guys are using Splunk or maybe some other tools, and definitely the syntax will be a little bit different. But if I talk about the Splunk, the syntax is like this. Okay, where you just kind of figure out what's the log that will have that entries, and once you have figured out, you just look at for this kind of keywords like 200. Okay. and then the domain of that URL, and you can quickly